Like,
I
where
can
is she?
probably explain the Hamada deal now. Hamada makes way too much money. Like, I'm not saying she ain't worth what she's getting paid, because she's awesome and she throws it down. But they signed her for a really high amount, and since then they've just been kind of sparse about using her, because she's actually one of the highest paid females on the. I think she may be the highest paid female on the roster. She makes like a K a show. Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if they don't want to pay her to sit at home, I mean, it sucks for her because I'm sure she'd rather be used. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's TNA's fault.
I think on top of that, TNA doesn't do guarantees though. From what I believe. So, like, I read so many things about TNA's pay scale. If you're not at a certain level, I'm pretty sure she's getting a pay for appearance. So, you know, if she's not working, she's not getting paid.
My thing is, like, I got the chance to see her live at a show in Jersey. I worked, and she's amazing. First of all, it actually kind of freaked me out because I didn't know she spoke Spanish until she started speaking Spanish like perfectly, because she was having trouble like talking to the girl, and so like we all became like the middleman helping her, you know, translate stuff. But then I see her on TV. Is she still a champ? Is she still tag champ?
I don't even know.
I don't even know she is.
Is she? Because
let me look it up. But I think
women's
she is.
tag, they haven't been defended in ages.
She still is, and I think the last time they defended was probably about maybe about 2 or 3 episodes back. They've been involved in that little. They've kind of been the middle women, and like that whole deal with the beautiful people blowing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, you're right. That's probably episodes ago because last week was a mess.
Man, and I'm gonna tell you too. I feel so sorry for Hamada because, like, I don't know how y'all feel about Lacey Von Erich. Like, I know she's not the most talented thing in the ring, but you know, I'm sorry, I gotta be a man here. I could look at her all day. I would get a step stool just to get up there and do what needs to be done. But like, you know, she's like every time she's in a match especially with Hamada in it, it's like, you know, it just seems so off. And I mean, whenever she's in there with Hamada just looks like she just wants to straight kill her. And I wouldn't be surprised if she isn't killing her with some of the stuff that she hits her with, because, like, I don't know, it's like she's just loving her, like you know, Hamada's got her back brace on, if you get what I'm saying, whenever she's got to have a match with Von Erich.
Lacey's a very pretty girl.
I think she's more diva material than knockout. I'll put it like that.
Definitely.
You know, but she doesn't really. I mean, she fits the image of the beautiful people. I mean, she can blend right in or whatever. But as far as in the ring, she hasn't really done anything to make me go, ooh, okay, wow.
But then again, keep in mind the knockout division ain't exactly what it used to be.
Yeah, that's true.
But
now Mickey James and what's her name? Sarita. Yeah, Sarita. They had a good match.
They actually did.
Oh, yeah.
I just watched it today. I liked it. It was a really good match.
It was a good match. And considering we hadn't seen Nikki wrestle in a while, and a lot of people were concerned that she would be out of shape and things like that, she looks good to me.
Oh yeah,
but I mean, I think Mickey hasn't sat down. It wasn't like she was like, oh no, I'm not in WWE anymore, I'm just gonna sit. I mean, she's been doing shows. She worked after, you know, her 90-day clause was up. She worked. She's been doing, you know, indie shows. She actually wrestled Mercedes Martinez for the belt at ICW. She's been working, and I mean, she's always been a worker. Like, that's the thing. She can work. She's a pretty girl, but she can fucking work.
Oh boy, it reminds me of how her last little run in the East went. care for that little angle they did
Oh,
about
the
the
James
weight.
angle?
I didn't like
that
it.
That was just in bad. I'll admit that was in bad taste, and it really kind of showed just kind of to me how narrow-minded WWE is. Because you know every guy ain't looking for a twig in a female, and I mean like that was one of the things I always liked about her. Like you know she's perfectly acceptable in her size and whatnot, and she's not like starving herself to be a certain size. She's beautiful. Like I don't know any dude that would just, you know, turn down a shot at Mickey, you know.
She's beautiful. She really is. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of her and seeing more of what she's offering. I mean, I'm glad. Their division, that's the only thing. Like, they have a good division. They have a lot of girls that are good, but they have too. The problem is, I feel like they have too many girls that are good, so they don't know what to do with.
Well, you know what kills me?
I just look. She's still champ. Her and who's it? Her and Taylor Wilde are still the tag champs. Yep. So it's like, okay, so you're the champ, yet you are on TV once every 3-4 weeks. I don't know.
Vince's issue is like he's got these women that can wrestle. Because I don't know much about Jillian because her track record as far as wrestling in the WWE is not. I mean, she hasn't really been able to show what she can do. But I hear that she could really like throw down. But like you have Natalya. You had Natalya and Michelle McCool. It might have been this past week or the week before. They had a match, but they only get like, you know, a minute maybe tops to get in the ring and actually wrestle. And then you've got these two women that can actually wrestle, and they only get a minute, and that just pisses me off. I hate it.
Well, I mean, I actually didn't see the match. I just saw the tweets about people complaining about how lame it was. I think even Matt Hardy made a comment about it, how I forgot who the match was. It was Gail Kim and somebody tagging up, and then versus two other girls, and she didn't get tagged in once, and that's not the first time that I've seen it happen. I've seen Gail Kim stay on the apron before, and it just doesn't make sense.
Why did they come out there if they're not going to get in the? That's just, it's like they're fillers. They did that. I went to the Royal Rumble last year, and they had this Divas match to open up the show, and it was like this 10-person tag, and only the first two women. I mean, the other 8 didn't even need to come out there. They didn't get tagged in, and I'm like, what is the point?
Well,
here's the thing. If I was one of those girls, if you tell me this is a pay-per-view and you're going to come out, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get paid. I'm going to do it. But there comes a point where it's like it becomes a lot more than just the money. It becomes a lot more than like when you're in this business for the passion, when you're in this business because you love the business and because you want to be in that ring, it gets really hard. And I think that's what a lot of the guys that have recently, you know, been Future Endeavor, that's been their thing, that it's like, yeah, it sucks. I lost a job. I lost a payday. But at the same time, they gained their freedom. They gain being able to wrestle. I was watching the Highway to Helms, the Gregory Helms, the show he has on Geek Week, and that's the thing that he said. He's like, now because he's wrestling, he's back to being Gregory Helms. People actually see he's not just a gimmick hurricane. There's a lot more to him. You know, he can actually get in the ring and work. And I feel like that's what's happening with a lot of the girls. And I feel like there's going to be a point when some of those girls, like Gail Kim, are going to be like, wow, the money's awesome, but there's so much more to wrestling than just the money.
Keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. In WWE land, it's hard enough being a dude and getting a good amount of time to wrestle, especially if you're on Raw, because, you know, the promo and the backstage segment is king if you're watching Raw.
Yeah, that's true.
And the fact that you're saying that females are filler on WWE programming, I'm not going to argue that. Like, in a lot of the ways that it's done, like, I know what Natalya can do. Gail Kim, when she's on, like, you know, Gail to me sometimes, I mean, when she's on, she's great. I know her and Mickie James were set to kind of have, they had had a match that was kind of built up, and when they had it, it just fell apart, which was unfortunate to see. But, Gail Kim, et cetera, there's many of them that can perform. I know a lot of people don't like Michelle McCool, but when she's been called upon, she can perform, Melina, et cetera. Beth Phoenix especially, I can't wait for her to get back. I miss her. I miss her a lot. But
I'm very excited to hear her get back in the ring.
But as far as it all goes, first and foremost, WWE usually sees their spot as filler. In the event of TNA has gotten to the point where they're so, especially since Bischoff and Hogan and whatnot came in, that they're dedicating so much time to all this other stuff that's going on. The females just aren't getting it, especially since the female roster got a little smaller than what it used to be, and they're kind of in a rebuilding stage now at this point. Now, when they had the Knockout Tag Team Championships, you got to remember, they had like an 8-team tournament at one time to crown Knockout Tag Team Champions. Now, the only teams that you can really get are Madison Rayne and Tara, the Beautiful People, and Taylor Wilde and Hamada, and that's it. There were 8 separate teams when they tried to crown it. So it's definitely not as deep as what it used to be, because there was a point where there was ODB, Kong, Raisha Saeed, Alyssa Flash, Sarita, Taylor Wilde, Tracy Brooks, Sojo, when she used to be there, et cetera. It used to be way deeper than what it was. So I
think in general, tag teams are totally not what they used to be, and it's really hard. Also, just women tag team, which I think is terrible, because I'm in a tag team and I love doing my single stuff, but I love being a tag team. I feel like we can have so much fun, and I've also worked. I was in a tag team with Roxy Cotton for a bit, and that was super fun. Like, with that, it was more, with Roxy Cotton, it was a lot more of, let's go have fun. What are we doing in this match? We have no idea. Let's go have fun. Let's go beat ourselves in the ring. Let's go crazy. I don't know. I love tag teams, and I think there's not enough of them. And I think, like, when people ask me, like, what I grew up watching and who are my favorites watching, my top, 10, 15 people I named were all in tag teams. And my thing has always been tag teams. I've always been a big fan of tag teams, so I guess that hasn't really changed much.
I mean, WWE is really tripping me out too, especially the fact that they unified the tag belts.
Oh God, those things look like crap.
Those are some ugly. Oh my God.
Oh God, I'm sorry, they look like crap.
The 300 tag team title. It's just tripping me out because they made this big fuss about they made a huge fuss about trying to unify the tag belts, and they split up one team in Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, who just had the belts, and then the Hart Dynasty were really starting to find their place and find their groove as a team, and they're going to split them up too.
They don't have any tag teams. They split up the Carlito and Primo. They split up Crime Time. I really don't even understand why they bother to even have the tag team belts anymore. They don't have any tag teams. None. Nada. Zilch. And since they're breaking up, the Usos are never seen. Well, I guess you can see them on Superstars, but I don't bother to watch Superstars anymore. That's a waste of my time. But there are no tag teams. You have Nexus.
Superstars has Chris Masters.
Look, I didn't even know Chris Masters was still employed until I watched Bragging Rights, okay?
Hey, Chris, I would tell you, Chris Masters is like the most improved performer that nobody's talking about right now. Like, I remember a point where I used to just groan when a Chris Masters match would come on. Dude just got squabbles now. Like he's always fun to watch.
I'm not going to, there was a point when I used to enjoy watching him come out and, on the